Welcome back, everybody. We are again out here at Darby Creek Golf Club in beautiful Marysville, Ohio. Again, we are playing the front nine. This is the same day as the last video you saw, where I used driver off of the tee from the tips, the 7,000 yard tees. And then I decided, since we're playing the front nine again, I will do this second nine without the driver and kind of compare my stats and compare how many yards I hit off of the tee with my 3 and 5 versus my driver, and kind of just see what I can do score wise. As you see, as I open up with a disappointing bogey. But what was really disappointing about this round, even though I'm just going to, right up front, my score ends up not being the best, is Darby Creek did us dirty. I love Darby Creek. Let me preface this. I love Darby Creek. It is my favorite local course. It's the course I buy a pass to. They have a little thing called a Darby Dozen. I go through 2 or 3 of those a year. Darby Creek is just flat out the tits. Well, as we played our front nine, like I said, it was absolutely stacked. Stacked. 2 hour plus front. When we went around to make the turn, there was nobody on the front nine. And we said, hey, we have done this 1,000 times before. We make sure there's nobody about to tee off or nothing. We make sure there's nobody on the green or anything like that. We make sure it's clear. We tee off. And after we hit our tee shots, which, if I must say so myself, mine was absolutely Eddie moneyed. This absolute Jabrone puss boy ranger, I have never seen him before in my life, pulls up and literally, fellas, I'm not lying. This doucher starts a legit fight with us. He starts like, oh, what are you guys doing going off of the front? Who said you could go off of the front? Why didn't you go off on number 10? And we're like, dude, because it's Jabrone City, USA. If you're the ranger, why are you allowing it to stack up like a boom? And words were thrown back and forth. I was fired up. Tell you the truth, I was about to rip off my shirt and absolutely go ape. You know, he just, you know, I was able to hold it together. I didn't. I'm just to tell you the truth, I cussed him out. We continued on our round, but we were so amped. The vibe was absolutely killed. The vibe was absolutely killed. And from this point on, we're like just disappointed in our round. But I have never, in my 4 years of playing golf, had anything remotely like this go on. I've never had a ranger just straight up pick a fight with us. I mean, he came at us aggressive from the start. I couldn't even believe it. And if you go back and watch this video on hole number 1, I'm by myself on the green because Big Poe, he stayed back. He stayed back and they went jab to jab. I finished the hole up by myself because I'm like, I don't even want this shit killing my vibe. I shot a 41 from the tips. The first time around, I wanted to go low for the bros. But when a ranger goes Sphincter City, USA, and unjustifiably creates a whole thing that it wasn't even, it was like living in a fantasy world. It was like the dude was living in the year 3021. He was like, I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. 100%, it was the most insane thing that's ever happened to me on any round of golf I've ever played. Unfortunate it happened at what I call my home course. It ended up puckering my beehole up. The rest of the round, it was just absolutely ruined. I was out of the zone. I was amped up. So when you see the end stats in this 9-hole round, you see the thing that cost me strokes wasn't off of the tee. I hit about the same amount of greens, not many. It was putting. And what's putting? That's touch. And when you're amped up after some oak tree looking John Kerry motherfucker chews you out for teeing off on a wide open front nine, which it was wide open. It was like Alexis, Texas wide open. It was so wide open on the front. There wasn't a soul on the front. When they pick a fight with you and like you get so amped up, what goes? That's your touch. My blood pressure was through the roof. Couldn't make a putt. As you see right there, I ended up, worm burning a couple. I think I had maybe 3 not great strikes on this front nine. And the one stat where I lost the strokes from the first 9 was putting. And that was it. Being amped after the Ranger fight, I just couldn't put it together. I went for a 44, 4 out of 7 fairways, though 1 of 9 disappointing greens, 18 putts. But off of the tee average, with the 3 and 5, 218 yards. In part 1 with the driver, my off of the tee average was 207 yards. Folks, that's why I don't use driver hardly at all. As always, guys, if you like this content, hit it with the thumbs up. And I'll see you guys on the next Ohio Golf Vlogs.
But I know deep down that they want me to bleed. Never been into the fairy tales. I told myself that I wouldn't fail. I gotta clean up my basement. Their bodies of rappers are leaving an awful smell. I want a taste of that luxury. I make that bread for my family. Working on building a company. Making those moves so they fuck with me.